Scene: collapsed bed and breakfast, studio of a morning news program. Time: the present. Act 1, Scene 1. The play begins before the rise of the curtain, once the house is open. When the audience is seated, an automated curtain speech is played. Welcome to Cabe Theater. Please take this time to turn off all electronic devices as they are distracting to your patrons as well as to the performers. The lights begin to flicker. The voiceover is now layered with static and cuts in and out. We ask that you refrain from taking flash photography. Bursts of static, flickering lights, sounds of wind, branches snapping, and sirens. Lights begin to go wild. Snippets of news reports detailing a storm can be made out.
Take cover wherever you are.
Tornado touchdown has been reported. I repeat.
It is highly advised.
Tornado touchdown been reported.
This is an emergency. Find shelter wherever you are.
Howling wind and thunderous pounding suddenly retreats into the distance, and the audience sits in dark silence. Lights begin to rise to reveal the inside of a tumble-down bed and breakfast. Some debris falls into the room as the destruction seems to reach its end. Sound of coughing and shifting of rubble.
Leo! Is anyone there? Hello? Where is he? Oh, please be okay. Please, God, don't let him be dead. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Leo!
A small handheld radio is pulled from the rubble.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die alone. Alone. Alone, all alone in this godforsaken hotel. Aunt Gail's bed and breakfast, the only place that'll feel like home. Please, work. Damn you, work! Aha!
Record-breaking tornado.
Come on!
2/3 of the county has sustained damages, and rescue teams have been deployed to recover victims of the storm. Heavy casualties are to be expected.
Fuck. Where did it come from? There was no warning. Where was the warning? They'll find me. The rescuers will be here soon. I just have to be patient and wait.
Soandso sits and waits, then moves to fiddle with the radio.
It's so quiet.
There's a sound of movement on stage.
Is someone there? Hold on, I'll help you. Don't worry.
Soandso pulls away rubble to uncover a young man whose lower body is still hidden in the debris.
Leo, it's you. I was worried sick about you. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Show me where you're hurt. Please tell me you're okay. I was so scared I didn't know what to do.
You woke me up from the best sleep of my life with all that yelling. Get me out of here.
Right away. I don't think I can move this.
Ah! Stop, stop, stop!
Maybe I could pull you out?
You can try, but if I tell you to stop, stop, okay?
Okay. All right, grab my wrists.
Ah! Stop, stop!
What's the matter?
It's hurting.
I'm sorry. How do you want to do this?
Not at all. I think we should wait until some search party comes looking for survivors. Don't worry.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll at least make it until they get here.
They could bring a bulldozer or something.
Or something. What happened?
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember anything.
Not at all?
No. Well, I guess that's not entirely true.
What is it?
I do remember coming downstairs early for breakfast, but I can't remember anything after that.
You must have been knocked unconscious. There was a really bad storm.
A storm did all this?
No, not just a storm.
Then what?
It was a tornado.
A tornado?
Yeah, a tornado. Are you sure you're okay? I'm worried about you.
I'm alive, you're alive. As far as I can tell, it's the best case scenario, right?
You're right.
It's going to be fine. Don't worry. We're in this together. Always.
They kiss.
I love you so much, I don't know what I'd have done without you.
I love you too, babe.
I was listening to the radio, and they said that rescue teams had been sent out.
I hope they find us soon.
Me too. I can't stand it in here. It's so quiet.
Have you heard from anyone else?
What do you mean? We didn't know anyone else staying here.
I know that, but there were other people here. There was a woman who owns this place. There were people staying down the
Gail.
hall. What?
Her name was Gail. Gail's bed and breakfast.
Yeah, Gail. Have you heard from any of them?
Ignorance has never sounded so beautiful.
Why do you say that?
You got to be completely oblivious to the danger. Totally removed from the events unfolding around you. Lucky.
What are you talking about?
I was there. Present. Awake.
During the storm?
I saw it all. I saw the power. The sheer destructive power. I felt it.
Oh.
It came on so suddenly. There was no warning. Aren't the sirens supposed to go off before it's begun? The tornado, I mean.
That's generally how they're supposed to function. People watching for it set off the alert once it's touched down.
I guess that explains some of it.
What do you mean?
We were serving ourselves in the kitchen when it touched in the field beyond the house. I guess it had been a stormy morning, but no one expected this to happen. The sirens started going off after the tornado had already ripped away the roof and most of the third floor. It's like it was mocking us. I watched the couple that was staying across the hall try to make it to the external cellar, but...
I had no idea it was so terrible. I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you.
It's not your fault.
Let's talk about something else. I can't sit here and see you suffer like this.
How can I? It's still so fresh.
Do you remember the time we spent the weekend locked in your mom's house?
What about it?
You were stuck at home alone and I came over to fix your internet or something like that?
I'd accidentally unplugged the router when I was looking for somewhere to charge my phone.
I knew it was something dumb like that. I'm convinced you did it on purpose.
Why is that?
Because it would not have been hard to figure out at all.
Maybe it was my secret plan all along.
I ended up staying for the whole weekend because it
It
snowed.
snowed so damn much.
Yeah. The roads were completely blocked. It took days for them to clear up.
I remember it. It was the first time we'd ever kissed.
I remember that too.
That was my first time ever kissing a boy.
What would your mom think? And under her roof, no less.
She still doesn't know that I had you over that weekend. She would have flipped. You know how she is.
Well, as I see it, if she's allowed to run off to the Caribbean with her boyfriend, you're allowed to have some fun too.
You make a convincing argument.
That I do.
How long ago was that?
At least 5 years ago. You were 18, maybe?
I was. I remember because the week before I'd just taken my first college final. Statistics. Professor Jude was such a bitch.
I never had her. My friends always said she was pretty tough.
Landing on the moon was tough, okay? The Civil War was tough. Professor Jude was something else.
Well, I'm not mad about it. It gave me something to comfort you about.
A much needed excuse, huh?
I would have made it happen regardless, and you know it. I was crazy about you.
That was a good weekend.
That was a great weekend. I'll never forget your face.
My face? What about my face?
Nothing.
Tell me about my face!
You were just so cute. The bashful look on your face. It was adorable.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you think I'm adorable.
I do.
You're hopeless.
Do you remember the story you told me that night?
Maybe. Was it that fairy tale?
Yes.
I'm shocked you remember that.
Shocked? It was such a cute story.
And I'm sure me being the one telling it had nothing to do with the fact that you liked it.
Oh, it definitely did.
How?
But you used to be so good at telling stories.
I was originally going to major in writing, you know.
I do know. You were so good at it.
I was okay.
I was in Introduction to Fiction with you. I remember you being the best one in the class.
Now you're exaggerating.
No, I'm not. Everyone thought so.
I didn't know that.
We were all kind of shocked when you switched majors.
I can't help it if I wanted to pay my bills. I didn't think I'd get anywhere.
You totally could have.
Well, my mom and I talked about it, and we decided it'd be best for me to study something more responsible. You know, so I can have a job. Plus, you were in that class, and you weren't in that major at all.
I took it as a random elective my junior year. It seemed like it could be fun. You were actually good at it, though.
I guess it turned out it wasn't really my thing.
Well, all I know is that whenever you told me that story, I could see you enjoying yourself. You're a natural-born storyteller.
It was just a dumb story from my childhood.
That you'd made up. It was so cute, it would have made an awesome children's book.
Children's books, huh? I thought you said I was good.
You are. It was a sweet, innocent fairy tale. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it while it lasted.
While it lasted, I'm sure you've still got it.
Well, I haven't written in ages, let alone told a story.
Well, I'd love to hear that story again if you wanted to tell me right now.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. I'd love to hear it.
Oh, whatever.
I'm serious. Plus, we're not going anywhere, are we?
But I haven't done it in so long.
It's just us. You know I'm not judging you. Come on.
Fine.
Yay!
Okay. Once upon a time.
No.
What?
You're doing it wrong.
How am I doing it wrong?
You're supposed to get up and act it out too, like you did before. That's half the fun, you know.
Oh my God, you are incredibly needy, aren't you?
I'm a cute boy trapped under a house. This is all I'm asking for. My final wish. Please.
Fine. But I don't want to hear another word from you.
Not a peep, I promise.
So-and-so gets up and goes to the radio. He turns it on and begins to rifle the stations of static. So-and-so finally settles on one. He goes to the center of the room and does a quick stretch before preparing for the story.
Once upon a time, there was an evil witch that lived high in the mountains. She had long, matted hair that went from the tip-top of her greasy head all the way to her calloused toes. She wore robes sewn from the earth and a cloak of raven's feathers. She had an awesome power to summon demons from the underworld. Her name was Deborah. Deb for short.
Deborah? You care to explain?
I was 7. I only had the capacity to be so creative.
But still.
Listen, do you want me to tell you the story or not?
Go on.
Okay. Where was I?
The witch's name is Deborah, Deb for short.
That's right. Deb used this dreadful power to terrify the nearby townspeople. They were unaware that the witch fed on their fear. It made her strong enough to bind the demons to her will. For years, Deborah sent her legions of demons into the town to wreak havoc. She would absorb their fear through her hideous pores until she'd had her fill. This cruel game played on for years. Many kings rose to power in this era of unbridled fear. A young queen, new to the throne, grew tired of watching her friends and family live in fear of the monsters, and she determined that there would be an end to it.
Yes, Queen! Get it? You don't get it? All right, ignore me. Go on with your story.
Are you done?
I'll be quiet.
I just want to make sure you're done.
Will there be a talkback following the performance where you can pose my questions?
As a matter of fact, there is.
Okay, I'll shut up then. Carry on, my good bard.
All right. So there's a witch, yada, yada, yada. The queen is over it, da, da, da. Okay. The queen sent out her strongest warriors in search of a sacred talisman that could shed the townsfolk from the eyes of the demons. It was declared that the champion would have the right to win her sweet daughter's hand in marriage. However, to return without the talisman would mean death. Failure was not an option.
Damn.
You see, the queen had 2 children she feared for. Her elegant, confident daughter, and her handsome but shy son. She would have done anything to save them. Only one champion returned from the quest, a cunning and handsome warrior, and with him he carried only a shovel. The townsfolk were outraged at his failure and turned into a vicious mob. They raged through the streets, carrying the lone warrior to be executed for his crimes. The queen approached the warrior as he was led to the gallows. She looked at him with malice in her royal eyes. "You sicken me," she said. "How are we to protect the town with naught but a shovel?" The warrior looked into the queen's eye and held the shovel high. "I know not of the ways of magic," he called. "I believe if we bury ourselves with the dead, the beasts will not look upon us. What use is the dead to a demon?" The queen, taken aback by the simplicity of the young warrior's plan, decided to allow him the opportunity to put it into action. The warrior supervised the construction of an intricate catacomb in which the villagers could hide from the demons. That night, the demons searched the town but found not a single soul that they may torment. The following week, the townsfolk threw a festival to celebrate the heroism of the warrior and the engagement of the warrior to the princess. Furious, the evil witch descended upon the town to serve her sour revenge. She directed all of her spiteful power at the warrior, intent on killing him and breaking the spirit of the town once more. To protect the town hero, the young prince put himself in the path of the witch's power. Deborah's oily pores took one taste of the prince's sweet bravery and shrank back in disgust. Defeated by the young prince, the witch turned to flee back into the mountains, only to encounter the demons. Released from her power, they dragged the witch Deb with them back to the underworld to serve her eternal punishment. Touched by the bravery of the young prince and his charming good looks, the warrior requested the hand of the prince in marriage. Much to the disappointment of the princess, the queen granted the request, and the village lived happily ever after. The end. You can talk now. Leo?
Huh? Oh, is it over?
Did you fall asleep?
No, I was just trying to imagine it.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great story. I almost forgot I was trapped under a house.
Thanks.
What did your mom think about it? Your story, I mean.
She didn't care for it very much. But first, she didn't like that I named the witch Deborah, and she also wasn't too happy that the prince and the warrior got married.
Huh, sounds like her.
As a kid, I couldn't understand why she hated the story so much. I guess now it makes a lot more sense. When I told that story to the rest of my family, she made me swear that the prince would marry the princess. It's more realistic, she said. That's how fairy tales are supposed to end.
Do you think she
Knew about me? Oh, sure. Her son was dreaming about marrying a prince. It couldn't be more obvious if I was born holding a pride flag in one hand and some poppers in the other.
Aw, too bad for her. I love you the way you are.
Yeah. Too bad, huh? Are you feeling okay? You're looking pale.
I've never felt better. Check it out in The Wicked Witch of the East.
How do you do it?
Do what?
Act so casually about our situation. Aren't you scared? You're pinned under a pastel bed and breakfast, for Christ's sake. You've been playing like you're fine, but I'm not buying it anymore.
Well, the way I see it, I could freak out and be stuck, or I could stay calm and still be stuck. Maintaining my composure is the only control I have in this situation right now. Panic is for the basic bitches who don't know how to handle their shit.
I guess.
Plus, it's way more fun this way.
Yeah, it's definitely better than running around like chickens with our heads cut off.
Exactly. Do you want to tell me another story?
Oh, not right now. I want to rest a bit. Running and jumping around and all that is pretty tiring.
Sure.
Maybe later?
Absolutely later.
The two huddled together in silence as the storm seems to be retreating. Sounds of the creaking building and a slamming shutter echo through the theater.
Hey, baby, it's going to be all right.
What if the storm comes back?
It's not coming back, it's just some rain. It's been raining all weekend, remember?
I also remember the rain being followed by a tornado.
I don't think that will happen this time.
Why?
Because I have to.
Sound of the storm has grown.
It still freaks me out. I'm trying to be strong, but I'm still scared.
It's okay to be scared. This is a genuinely scary situation.
Yeah.
Anyone would be just as scared.
Susan. Her name was Susan.
Whose name was Susan?
The woman across the hall. I remember because when I was grabbing ice last night, I ran into her. She smiled at me. She seemed really nice. Her boyfriend or whatever called from the room. Come on, Susan, it's back on.
Oh.
She's gone. She's gone and we're next.
Come on, don't think like that.
But think about it. Look where we are. We're stuck here and there's no telling if we're going to be able to get out before the next tornado.
And? How does any of that change the fact that we are stuck here? Take the punches as they come, you know? Let's keep it light.
I know. I want to be positive. I'm trying to do it the same way you do, but I saw her die. I can't just forget about it. Not with the sounds of the storm acting as a constant reminder of something I witnessed not even a day ago.
What do you need? Tell me what you need.
The guy was the first one it took. He fell while they were running. She didn't even look back. The doors to the cellar were locked, so she couldn't even get inside.
Hey, please, don't do this to
She
yourself.
would have been better off going back for him. At least they would have gone together.
Hey! Do you remember that time we went to the water park?
Leo, please.
No, do you remember?
But
Come on, work with me. Remember the pool?
I pushed you in. You couldn't swim.
Exactly. The lifeguard had to pull me out.
You screamed and thrashed the whole time they were trying to rescue you. I didn't know your voice could go that high.
And then we both got kicked out for being reckless.
You spent $15 and we were in and out of that in under 10 minutes.
Yup, but it felt like an eternity because most of that time was being lectured by the park staff.
That was our third or fourth date, I think.
Yep, I still had a great time. We got ice cream and binge-watched Sex and the City the rest of the night.
That's right! We got into a fight about which one of us was more like Samantha.
Turns out neither of us.
Yeah,
Sound of the storm, West 4.
I wish we could go back to that day in the park last week.
The Sunday picnic?
I've never had such a lovely surprise before.
End of scene. Act 1, Scene 2. In the crack of thunder, the setting changes as the two lovers descend into this memory. We are now under a tree at a simple picnic. So-and-so has just come across it and is surprised. Leo lies on a blanket offering so-and-so a place to sit.
Surprise!
I love it!
Would you like something to drink? Perhaps a splash of wine?
Cheap wine, my favorite. I'm sorry I'm late. My mom wanted me to try her peanut grill.
How is Deb?
She's fine, I suppose. I don't know why she always acts like it's a surprise. I brought some with me.
Yeah. Mmm. This is good?
It's terrible. I don't ever remember late. No one does. Every spring never fails. She's making peanut grill.
Why?
I don't know. She insists that it's a family tradition. I'm done talking about her. I'm here to have a lovely surprise picnic with my boyfriend.
That's right. Drink some more wine. It's yummy.
Tasty.
I also brought some turkey sandwiches. Ta-da!
My favorite? You even put jalapenos on it. You really do love me.
I really do. I love you.
I love you too, babe.
They kiss.
Hey, why don't we get away this weekend?
Get away. What do you mean? Like, go somewhere?
Yeah. We can get out of the city and relax somewhere in the countryside. We could just pack a bag and figure it out as we go. It's supposed to be perfect weather. What do you say?
Well, I don't know. Don't you think that's a little reckless?
Who cares if it is? What's the worst that could happen?
My mother hunts us down and burns us at the stake for homosexuality.
I'd like to see her try.
I wouldn't. Don't test a Scorpio. I'd like very much to avoid that at all costs.
I know you and your mom have a unique relationship, but you can't keep living in fear of her.
Well, how can I? I still live in her house. I haven't made enough money to get a place of my own.
That brings me to another thing. We've been dating for about 5 years now, and we still don't live together. I really think you should just tell your mom about us, so you can move in with me. It'd be great. There's plenty of space, and you could set up.
You know I can't do that. She gave me the silent treatment for a month when she just thought I had smoked pot. Can you imagine what she'd do if she knew about us?
I know your family is important to you, but what about me, huh? I just can't help but feel like I'm put on hold every time your mom burns her brimstone-scented candles.
No, I hate it. I'm just kind of stuck right now.
Let's just get away for the weekend and clear our heads. We can figure all of this out when we get back, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to fight.
I don't either. I know it's coming. I know I'm going to have to tell her, but I just don't know what I'd say.
So-and-so stands alone in a cold spot. He is not with Leo. He is not in bed and breakfast. Sound of the rain and wind increase.
Would it be casual? Hey Mom, I'm gay. Have a good day. Would she stop talking to me forever? She'd tell me that I'm an abomination and yell at me to get out of her house. I don't want that. I don't want things to change. I can't have people look at me differently, like there's something wrong with me. I see it all so clearly. She's up late at night on the phone, crying to the pastor that she fears for my eternal soul, that she doesn't know how to help me. She has a bag for a son.
There's a sudden return of the tornado siren above, sounds of storm. So-and-so suddenly seems to recognize someone who hasn't been there before.
Mom? Is that you? Mom, there's something I...
Blackout. Soandso is abruptly cut off by the sound of static. The sounds of the storm and siren persist. End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1. Lights up on a news desk center stage. Seated at the desk is a woman. She shuffles through some notes, waiting for her cue to begin.
Welcome back to the Channel 7 Morning News. I hope the rain isn't going to put too much of a dent in your weekend plans. We asked in an online survey about your favorite rainy day activity. I would absolutely love to cuddle up under a blanket and watch a good movie, am I right? Well, the polls are in, and you all have agreed that the #1 activity to do on a rainy day is to build a fort. Doesn't that sound fun? So, don't worry if you and your families were hoping to get outside this weekend. Spend some time inside crafting your very own fort out of pillows and blankets where you can tell stories and dream the rain away. Up next, we go live to local deputy Kevin Murphy as he talks about roadside littering. And later, we'll visit with Ronald Dunn, a science enthusiast who's claimed he may have found proof to discount global warming. Kevin, are you there?
Live footage of Kevin.
I'm here.
It's good to see you, Kevin. Tell us what you're seeing.
Thank you, Jeanette. I'm reporting from Cook County, where locals have begun a roadside cleanup initiative.
Kevin struggles against worsening weather conditions.
Jeanette, for years, this town has seen trash accumulate along this road. It has been attributed to cross-country travelers passing through town. Whoa, sorry. It's getting pretty windy. You can see my hood will barely stay on my head.
What can you tell us about the area?
It's mostly rural. We're in the periphery of Evansville. As you can imagine, there's lots of space. There's a gas station and a bed and breakfast for travelers, but little else. Thanks to the efforts of the people of Evansville and the surrounding community, the cleanup initiative has already gathered 16 bags of trash, averaging around 10 pounds each.
That's good to hear, Kevin.
It certainly is. This community is making a major turnaround. Back to you in this shit!
Kevin, are you still there? Can you tell us what's happening?
It's a tornado! It's fucking huge! Tornado touchdown has been reported. I repeat, touchdown has been reported.
Kevin, you heard it, folks. A tornado has touched down in Cook County and it is highly advised that you take cover wherever you are. We'll be right back with an update. Fuck, this is some crazy shit. Someone get Kevin on the line. We need to know what's happening over there. Also, we need some goddamn answers. Where the fuck was the siren? I certainly didn't hear one. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you found cover and are watching this from a safe place. If you're just now joining us, we'll be giving you live updates on the location of the tornado. All right, they've just brought me some updated information. Data collected from the Doppler radar has indicated that this could possibly be a record-breaking tornado. We stress that you find cover and remain in that safe space until further notice. This is the Channel 7 News. We'll be right back.
Blackout. Footage and images of the destruction support Jeanette's report. Lights up on Jeanette.
Welcome back. This is Channel 7 News. I'm your host, Jeanette Allen. Within the short time it was active, the tornado not only altered the landscape, but the lives of those who called it home. 2/3 of the county has sustained damages, including the nearby town, Evansville. Supplies and rescue teams have been deployed to recover victims of said neighborhood. Heavy casualties are to be expected. Specialists are still baffled by the sudden appearance of the tornado. It's as if it was conjured from the ether, and to the ether it returned.
Blackout. Footage of tornado destruction, damage, people looking for loved ones, tumble down homes, stray pets, reporters on the scene speaking to victims. Intermingled is a reoccurring face of a woman, crying, laughing, smiling, etc. Images end with a woman angrily screaming at the audience. All that is heard is the blaring siren. Blackout. End of scene. Act 2, Scene 2. Lights up on Soandso and Leo in the bed and breakfast.
Mom, there's something I...
Hey, are you okay? Listen to me, it's okay, it's just the wind.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry,
It's going to be okay. I think the wind scared you. You were somewhere else, but you're back now. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you doing? You're doing such a great job taking care of me, but you're the one we should really be worried about. Are you okay?
I think my body was in shock or something. I didn't feel it at first, but I've been feeling a sharp pain in my left leg. It's definitely broken. I think whatever adrenaline or whatever I had is starting to fade. Fuck! I wish those damn rescue teams would hurry up.
Me too. The place is stuffy.
I've seen worse.
Worse than this?
Compared to what it was before, it's a remarkable improvement.
Lace doilies and framed photos of long dead cats wasn't working for me either.
It's an instant remodel.
Shabby, stormy chic. It'll be all the rage next season. Totally original aesthetic.
It'll be labeled a callback to 90s grunge. Nothing is original anymore.
Shh. It's gonna be okay.
I'm feeling sick. I think I'm gonna rest my eyes a bit.
I know you don't feel very well, but I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't know if I can stay awake.
Sure you can. We can make a game out of it.
A game?
Yeah, it'll be like college again. We used to stay up all night talking to one another. Then the first one to fall asleep had to buy the other one breakfast the next day. I always fell asleep first, but you'd still buy me breakfast anyway. A true gentleman. That's what you are. A true gentleman. That's why I love you. You're so respectful to me. You put me on a pedestal. I've never felt that way with anyone before. My mom always told me to be humble and not to stand out like it's a bad thing. Being unique is a bad thing. Being different. You have always lifted me up and made me feel more special than I am. I'm so grateful to have someone like you in my life. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if we get out of this, I think we should move in together. That's right. I said it aloud. I want to move in together. We can have a nice apartment somewhere with a balcony decorated with flower boxes. I could have a neat little desk where I could work on my writing just like you always tell me to do. We can host big gay dinner parties, all of our fabulous friends where we can show off the china your grandmother gave you, and I'll tell my mom. I'll tell her everything. I'll tell her about the day we met, our first kiss, the time I had to rush you to the hospital because you were having an allergic reaction to some shellfish. I'll tell her about the man I fell in love with, and she'll be okay with it because she loves me too. We will always have each other, Leo. I won't let you go, not ever. Leo? Leo? Wake up, baby, wake up. Come on, don't do this to me. Don't leave me here alone. Don't leave me here by myself. I need you.
Lights fade to a single spot in so-and-so. End of scene. Act 2, Scene 3. Lights up on Jeanette. She is sitting with Kevin at the news table.
Thank you for joining us today, Kevin.
Thank you, Jeanette. It's always a pleasure to be here. Much better than drowning in that storm.
Kevin is with us in the studio to discuss the recent catastrophic tornado. Kevin, please describe what you were going through in that instant the tornado touched down.
Absolutely, Jeanette. Well, as you know, we were on site to film a segment about the roadside cleanup initiative. Previous forecasting had told us it was supposed to be an ideal weekend, so the sudden emergence of the storms was quite alarming.
Where did it come from?
That's just it. It didn't come from anyone. It began where it began. There's not much more to it.
How do you explain this type of behavior?
There are a lot of theories I've heard going around. I'm no weatherman, but it seems a popular opinion is this is a symptom of climate change.
Oh, right. Severe weather retaliation as a result of climbing temperatures.
Retaliation. Kind of a dark and appropriate description of yesterday's event.
What other theories are floating around?
But climate change is the most scientifically supported theory, though another has caught quite a bit of attention. Some are calling it witchcraft.
Kicking Kevin underneath the table.
That seems a bit extreme, doesn't it? I want to reassure you folks at home that you have nothing to fear.
Well, absolutely. It's a radical theory.
And by radical, I'm sure you mean imaginary. There's no way to collect evidence to support such a thing. Can you
That's not
explain how
entirely
climate
true.
change might...
I wouldn't necessarily call it hard evidence, but there's definitely enough to make an intriguing argument. How did the storm appear so suddenly that day? How did it escalate so quickly? How did the tornado manage to form and touch down before our radars could pick it up? Did Did you know the tornado touched down almost on top of the bed and breakfast and moved upwind to destroy it?
Why didn't the alarms go off immediately?
Some believe it was due to the sudden appearance of the storm. However, I believe differently. There's no other
That's some very
explanation.
intriguing stuff. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the aftermath of what people are calling the tornado of the decade.
Well,
You idiot. Why would you talk like that on live TV? You do realize that you could send people into a panic thinking the world was going to end? And that's if they're dumb enough to believe you.
you didn't see what I saw, Jeanette. I was being nice for the camera. It was awful. People need to know what is going
People
on.
need to know the truth. You can't be spinning them these wild, witchy doomsday conspiracies at them. That's not how this works. Our job is to make them feel safe, no matter the circumstance. This is why we broke up. You're so immature. Now, please, don't embarrass me on my show, okay?
Fine.
Fine. When we go back on the air, please maintain your composure and save the ghost stories for your blog.
You're such a bitch.
And we're back! Kevin is here with us now to discuss the aftermath of the storm. Can you tell us a little bit about what's being done to help the victims of the storm?
Absolutely, Jeanette. Rescue teams were deployed yesterday morning to Evansville to recover those trapped in their homes and to offer medical assistance. The death toll has risen to 15 individuals, and there are dozens with injuries ranging from minor scratches and bruises to broken bones and major lacerations.
What in terms of food and shelter is being provided?
A local church has reached out and is collecting donations for families who lost everything. Those who have not been hospitalized have gone to stay with relatives or put up in a local high school gymnasium. Tents have been constructed for those who refuse to leave until being reunited with their loved ones.
It's heartwarming to see people reaching out to help those in need. If you'd like to donate, call the toll-free number at the bottom of the screen to make your contribution. As a surprise for you, Kevin, we have Gail on the line. She wants to offer her thanks for the assistance you offered her after the storm. Hello, is this Gail?
Yes, I'm here, honey. It's Gail.
You're on the air. I'm with Kevin Murphy. Is there anything you'd like to say to him?
Yes. Thank you so much, honey. I gotta tell you, I was having a bad day. My home and business was destroyed. I didn't get to eat breakfast, and my arthritis was acting up. I'm so happy you found me when you did. I don't know if I could have made it. Thank you, sweetie.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure to help you. You deserved it after what you had just gone through.
Gail, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few more questions about what happened that day.
Well, sure, honey. Ask away.
Where were you when the storm began?
Well, I just set up breakfast, maybe around 6 or so. I like to be up early, and I was walking down the hall to use the restroom. That's when it happened. I hid inside the bathroom until it was over.
Why do you think the bathroom remained intact?
By the grace of God, I suppose.
Where in the house is this bathroom located?
It's near the center of the house, on the first floor, adjacent to the central living room.
How many guests did you have staying with you that weekend?
Just the 2 that passed, God rest their souls.
Indeed. Well, thank you, Gail. That's all the questions I have for you.
Oh, wait, damn my memory. There was one more couple that checked in at the last minute the night before. Typically, guests make reservations so I get the chance to set up their room. I get walk-ins from time to time, though.
Kevin, you said you recovered just 2 bodies, correct?
That's right. I have a question for you, Gail. If the bathroom remained relatively intact, do you think the living room right next door to it could have possibly survived as well? It's buried underneath a mountain of rubble from the rest of the house.
Do you mean to tell me you think those boys could still be alive in
I
there?
think it's possible.
Gail, thank you for coming on the air and talking to us.
Thank you, honey. You go save those poor souls.
Kevin to dispatch, over. I'll have a team sent over to Gale's immediately to have them check it out. Dispatch, come in. Damn thing.
A tornado siren accompanied by flashing red light begins blaring.
Folks, I have just been informed of the appearance of a second tornado that has touched down in Cook County. This is an emergency. Find shelter wherever you are. I repeat, this is an emergency.
Blackout. End of scene. Act 2, Scene 4. Lights up on Soandso crying alone on stage. He's in a spot surrounded by darkness.
Leo, please, I can't do this alone. I can't.
Orion.
Leo? Leo, where are you?
Please, help me, please!
I'm trying, but I can't see you.
Help me!
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Appearing out of the gloom is a woman in a rocking chair. She whispers to a baby in her arms.
Mom?
My sweet Orion, sleep now. Sleep. Tomorrow is a big day. Do you know what you were named for, little one? You were named for a fearsome warrior and a hunter who was infamous for slaying fearsome beasts.
The story of Orion.
You will bring evil to heal in the world, little one, and you will be granted a place amongst the stars as your reward.
Stops rocking and turns to look at so-and-so.
You're supposed to be killing the beast, not mounting them. You disgust me. You disgust me.
Deborah and the baby are consumed by the darkness. Lights up on Jeanette at her news table.
2 bodies were recovered last night from the tumbled-down bed and breakfast. They belong to a pair of best friends taking an impromptu road trip.
We're more than just friends.
The mother of one of the deceased has come forward and released the following statement. We will always miss Orion. He had within him a righteous light that always guided him true. His family will miss him greatly, but he has been called away by our Lord in heaven to fight the one true battle. Our condolences also go out to the family of his good friend Leo. We appreciate the friendship your son brought ours.
We were in love. You hear me? We were so in love.
Funeral services for Orion will be held this Sunday at the First Pentecostal Church off Main Street and 7th, and Leo's will be across town with Haynes Funeral Services. More information can be found at the bottom of your screen.
Listen to me. We're in love.
What would a fag know about love? What a coward.
Go to hell.
Where do you think we are?
I don't believe you.
Appearing in a pool of light is Kevin, dressed as a minister.
Come to the cross before it is too late. Our God is not a forgiving God. By taking up the sin of homosexuality, you have condemned yourself. He has spoken unto me, and I have heard his anger. He calls for the blood of the sinners to run through the streets and wash away the sin that festers there. The gays, the transgenders, the queers, faggots, all of them. They must be purged along with the prostitutes and killers of children. Homosexuality is wrong. Purge yourselves of your sin.
No, that's not true.
You are an abomination. You are a mistake. Confess your sin.
I'm not a mistake.
Repent. Repent or pay the ultimate price. Eternal damnation. Repent. Repent. Repent.
No! There is nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with our love.
Repent. Repent. Repent.
No, you repent. You repent. You who have filled my life with hate and anger and fear of what I am. I am not an abomination. You are. You who cannot accept your son as he is. The world would be a better place without people like you in it telling others who they should be. I am ashamed of you.
Kevin and Jeanette fade into the background.
We are in love. Leo and I are in love. There is nothing as innocent and natural. Not even your vile hatred can taint it. Our love is pure. So pure that nothing else has ever brought me closer to God. If you think you know the face of your God, then you are wrong. You are wrong!
So-and-so is now shouting over the sounds of the storm. The tornado has returned.
To hate is human. To judge is human. To persecute is human. Unconditional love is true divinity. And I feel sorry that you have never and will never taste it. That is hell, and you are living in it. Every day you walk the earth with fear and hatred in your heart. You are in hell. But I am in heaven. I have a love, and it is what I cherish most in the world. You cannot take that away from me. Not ever. I love him. I love you, Leo.
Darkness retreats and Soandso stands in a collapsed bed and breakfast. Leo lies under his restraints. Tornado is still active.
Leo, I'm here. I'm here, sweetie, and I'm not scared anymore.
The interior of the bed and breakfast is beginning to rumble. Debris is falling all around.
Orion, I'm scared.
Don't worry. I'm here with you, and I'm not going anywhere, no matter what.
It hurts.
I know it does, Leo.
I don't want to die.
I don't want to live without you. If we die right here, together.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Will you tell me a story?
Of course. Once upon a time, there was a shy prince and a handsome warrior. They shared something so special. They had a love that could erase any darkness.
The lights fade to black as Soandso tells his story. Swelling sounds of the storm as it consumes the bed and breakfast. End of scene. Act 2, Scene 5. Lights up on Jeanette sitting at her news desk. The screen reads, Tornado Safety Awareness Week.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeanette Allen, and you're watching Channel 7 Morning News. I cannot believe it's been an entire year since we had those back-to-back surprise tornadoes. Today is the anniversary of that tragic event. We want to take a moment to remember those who lost their lives, those who lost precious loved ones. Thank you, everyone. Do you have an emergency plan when a tornado hits? Expert Marion Duval is here to help you with a plan to keep your family safe. But first, in the studio, we have the pleasure to meet two unlikely survivors of the event. We'll talk to them about their harrowing struggle to survive, their new non-for-profit, and their upcoming plans. Do I hear wedding bells? All this and more right after the break. We'll be right back.
Blackout. End of play.
Good evening. Good evening. We are back in the South. Yes, good evening. My name is Tony Horn, and I'll be leading the talk back. First, let's give another hand to our wonderful actors. Mike. Mike, is that Mike? Hey, Mike. Playwright, Brian Earles. Brian, show us where you are. I'd also like to acknowledge all of the students who've worked backstage and in the lobby tonight to make this event happen. So thanks to all of you. So as you know, tonight we're really here so that Brian could hear the play read aloud and so that you could respond to the play to help him as he continues to develop and write the play. So with that in mind, he doesn't get to talk, does you, Brian? He's going to be quiet, take notes. So I'm going to start. You've got something in your program that you can fill out if you would rather write your comments rather than speak them aloud. There's a space to add things at the bottom. So if you'd like a pencil so that you can write while we're working, please raise your hand and our ushers will make sure that you have a pencil and they'll take those up from you at the end. But I will start with a question for you that is actually on the card or a variation of something on the card. So, what happened in the play that surprised you or excited you? If you have something to share, you can raise your hand. And for Professor Muse and Grace will help me see in the bright light. Does anybody have a comment in relation to that question? What surprised you about the play, or what excited you? I see a hand.
I like very much that so-and-so or Orion's mom, named the day. Because a little story, she's just not
And did you like that it was a surprise that you found out that was her name later in the show?
I like that.
What a nice moment. All right. Other things that might have surprised or excited you? Anyone else? You were so not excited. Of course you were. Hey, I'm blind. Oh, yes.
They survived!
Yes! Me too. I felt good about that. So, were you expecting that the lead up was that they had expired until the very end, right? With the good news. So you enjoyed that? Yes. Excellent. That's good to hear. What else? Other hands about that? Yes, I see one. Oh, you're pointing there. Hello. She's helping me find you.
Yes, really appreciated the different uses of the zodiac jokes and puns throughout, especially the Scorpio joke with John Ryan.
Is there anyone else who wants to respond to that question? I have another one we'll pose that's related to the card as well. Was there something you thought was going to happen that did not happen? That you were like, whoa, I was looking for that and I didn't see it or hear it? Anything like that that you want to share with us? Okay. I have another question then. Is there anything that, and I know some of these things have already been mentioned in a different way, but anything that really just moved you or touched you about the play, whether you expected it or not? There's something that really just spoke to you. You don't have to explain why. There's something that spoke to you or that really moved you and that happened in the play. Let's see, we'll start there and then we'll go there.
Just whenever he was contemplating coming out to his family, it was a very realistic and relatable experience for anyone that is LGBT. It was very touching for me personally.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So-and-so's little monologue about being completely unashamed about who he is as a person after the whole repent thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit.
Other comments about that? Anything that spoke to you or touched you in any way? Okay. So, good thing I have, where are my helpers supposed to be helping me?
It's not necessarily a separate comment, it's just in addition to what was just said. The scene of the monologue also really touched me. I straight up cried, so that was great.
You want to underscore that for us?
Yes.
Thank you. In terms of what the play was about, we have a highly diverse and highly educated group tonight. Does anyone want to comment on what they felt the theme of the play was? There's no right or wrong answer, but if you'd like to comment on that, I see a hand right there. Yes,
I felt
sir.
it was, I felt the whole thing was covered, I mean, as a former news reporter, I've covered tornado outbreaks. So I have some idea, and I've seen a couple of them. The Joplin tornado came out of nowhere. The one that hit Jarrett, Texas was also, totally out of nowhere. There was also a couple of towns that were hit during a couple of the super outbreaks. So there's that history that's going through my head as I'm hearing all of this. And I know some of this has got to be metaphor. And it could be that, the storm is in the mind, the storm is in the brain, the storm is in the heart, is what I felt. It was the tornadoes were being used as the whirlwind of that's good. Emotion.
No, thank you. That was very helpful. That was a very thoughtful answer. Others who want to respond to thematically what you thought was happening in the show.
Yeah, over here to your right, please.
I'm here. And kind of piggybacking off what you said, I thought it was about self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance?
Yeah, like the character Orion was having a hard time coming to terms with himself because of what happened to him in his childhood. And through the storm and through the tragic events, he was able to fully accept himself, right? At the end, he said he was going to come out and stuff like that. And then really friends. So yeah, so.
So he made it through the trials, the storm, and he persevered. Since we talked about the tornado in specific terms, is there anyone else who wants to comment on the tornado as a symbol or as a metaphor in any way? Yes?
See, there's the physical tornado, there's the individual tornado of Orion coming to terms with himself and that, and then there's the societal tornado that we experience every day. And you know, he talked about the tornado. It's like it touched down and it came back to wipe out the hotel, the bed and breakfast. And Orion turned on those who were judging him and said, "No, you repent." So he totally twisted that around, that scenario, and that's the tornado right here.
One of our other actors had a hand up. Yes?
I did like just kind of not only just the tornado, but the three parallels you had going on of the current story of what was going on with Orion and Leo and wanting to come out, and you know, the little fight that they had before they go on this vacation, where that probably is what got the tornado and himself going. Then you have the weather tornado that hits as a symbol, and then you've also got the parallels of this story that he's telling. So you've got all three of these things running together, and in the end, they all just kind of coalesce, and I thought it turned out like, it was wrapped really neatly in a bow, and I liked it. So, I liked it.
Yes, sir.
For me, thinking about the tornado from the text, so Deb, right, as a force, as a tornado, what was really great is to hear you working out, so-and-so working out, like, why did me, this tiny little town, get struck by this tornado? Right, it's really like, I've got all these friends, there's all these other people who were born into a wonderfully inclusive home or an inclusive community, like, why were we singled out? Right, like that narrative of Tornado Alley from weather, like, played out in this identity story. Great.
Well, we've got our cast talking. Cast, is there any other topics that you want to address in the play that you'd like to speak to for our writer and our audience to hear? Yes, this is.
I guess this is more directed to Brian directly, but you know, going off the idea of like the societal tornado and these external pressures on people who are members of the LGBTQ community to kind of like adapt or pretend they're not who they say they are. I don't know, I remember the first time I read through this, like I understood it was a kind of a dream sequence, and I was thinking like, wow, this is really amplified, it's kind of blown out of proportion because it is supposed to be this larger than life thing. But going back and reviewing it again, you know, I think, how many times have I, you know, a heterosexual white man, heard these things and kind of brushed them aside because, oh, they don't mean anything to me, they aren't targeted towards me. And so, I guess being a part of this and being able to read it kind of really enlightened me, I guess, on kind of the truth of how difficult it is to be someone who's not, you know, coming from a place of privilege from the very beginning. And I know, I guess, thanks for showing me that.
Got a couple of specific things that the playwright asked that we address. And one has to do with the fact that the play is named with Orion's name in the title, but we don't hear the name or identify who that is until very late in the play. So he'd like me to ask you how you responded to that or how you felt about that. Yes?
I love the ambiguity of the name so-and-so, because so-and-so can just be a big metaphor for anyone, or it could be someone you know. It leaves room for the viewer and listener to actively adapt that to someone in their lives, or just internalizing themselves. The lack of a name really allows for freedom of interpretation, and then at the end, when it's revealed as him as Orion as all destined and starting to begin with, it tells a more complete story that invites you in at the end.
Very nice, thank you. See another hand? Yes?
And that in accepting that name, he also
that Orion is a name that's really sort of laden with mythology. The hint that his mom was a Scorpio, because Orion mythologically was killed by the Scorpion, and he gets to win. He gets to turn it around. He gets to defy the myth by accepting himself. And I thought that was really clever.
I also thought it was cool how it ends up switching the roles in the story, because at first when you hear the story that so-and-so tells, he's kind of in that role of like the shy prince that's kind of like, you know, kind of just there and then just bravely comes out in the end. But then in the end when he's talking about their roles switch kind of, because then Leo says, Orion, I'm scared, and you've learned about Orion being the hunter and that's his name and everything. So then when he talks about the brave warrior and the shy prince, it's now switched and Orion's the warrior and Leo's the prince. And I thought that was cool. So.
Anything? Yes, I see. Back in the back. Yes, sir.
I have a question about it's about timing, and it's about the two name reveals. And so the name so-and-so is clearly an indication that we're going to discover something about this person's name. Like, that's clearly not his name. Like, it gives you the space to fill in a name, but it's also an indication that we're going to learn something, that everybody else has normal names and this person's name so-and-so. So like, we're waiting for that discovery of what the name is, what's going to be revealed. And as I'm thinking about the play, I'm trying to remember when it was revealed. It sort of happened a couple of times, but it didn't go. And so I wondered if you wanted that to sort of seep in, or if you wanted it to be a moment. And so to just consider that and what your intention is there. And the same thing with the name Deb. We have the name Deb, and we're like, he's telling the story of Deb, and we're waiting for that name to be revealed. And it happens early in the second act, and there are a couple of lines followed. We lost those lines because we were slowly going about the Deb joke. And so did you want that reveal to be a sort of slow burn or a clap? And so just those sort of timing things as you're drawing your patterns in your story, are those intentional? What's your intention on those two moments?
Thank you for posing that. And
One
it's a
more
great
question.
We have one more question, yes, but I want to remind people that it's not over, right? When we go out to eat, you can talk to each other, you can talk to the actors and to Brian as well. So the last question I'm going to pose, and we'll take one or two answers, and it's again from Brian. The way that it's revealed tonight, we are in the living room for a good portion of the play, and then we appear to switch locations. We could or could not be. It could be in the mind, it could be in the video. But he wanted me to ask you how you felt about the movement as it appears right now from location to location versus appearing to be in one place. Now, of course, when it's staged, it could be done in many, many, many ways. But he was just curious about your impressions or feelings about that, if you have any. Yes, sir.
I was a little confused, so maybe you can help me. During the repent sequence with you two, is that on the screen that it just kind of transitions into this weird little interlude, or you know, at one point you said don't you know we're all in hell?
There are more direct stage directions that say that he's kind of just in darkness and just kind of one spot of light kind of thing, and then we appear out of the darkness kind of stuff.
That's what
so,
confused me.
and that's probably where, because I don't know if we read that specific stage direction or not, but yeah, it's like in a darkness popping out and kind of thing.
So we are actually running out of time, so I want to thank all of you for staying.
I'm so sorry. This young lady over here has had her hand up for quite a while. So can we just end?
Oh, I can.
No, I know.
Go with
Can
the
we
flow.
just
Yes,
end right
ma'am.
over here?
Go right ahead.
No, I mean right over to your right.
You know I can barely see you too, right? So.
To your right. Lift your hand high. She has a lovely
There she
yellow
is.
shirt.
I see her now.
Yes, I was just thinking that since all the things are kind of happening like simultaneously, maybe it will be like I don't know. I was just when I was like listening to the reading, I was trying to picture the stage in my mind. I was just thinking maybe it would be possible for like one time, you know, like when it's the report room and you can just like make all the others like darkened and like you're focusing on the report room, well, people are gonna focus on it. But like at the same time, when you shift back to the living room we were tracking, that it's happening at the same location at the same time, but it's just now they're being noticed. It's happening.
So you can see it, you can envision it all there happening simultaneously as needed and letting the lights help us tell that story. Thank you, that's a very important comment. I think we are appreciative of all of you. If you still want to speak to Brian or to the actors, please come and join us for this wonderful Hendrix Murphy reception that's out in the lobby. Thank you again for coming, and let's give everybody